that was actually our last like day of recording.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very emotional. We said bye to Nikita and Frida the same day as well, earlier, and then after that we went to the lake to shoot the last scene. And it was, for me, it was very hard because it was the first time during all these three like seasons where I felt like I could
differentiate.
Differentiate?
Yeah.
I could differentiate.
No, you couldn't.
I could
Could not
differentiate
Yes.
Yeah.
in my head, but my body couldn't really. And so about like I'm gonna come to where I'm trying to
He's getting
say. I'm getting there. Basically, my body couldn't really feel the difference between the real world and the acting, because the scene that we were shooting was the end of their relationship, and that same day was the end of the whole shooting. Like Young Royals was ending that day, and so for me, emotionally, it was very hard to like switch in camera and off camera. I was like kind of feeling sad and emotional the whole time we were shooting that scene, because yeah, you know, like I like couldn't really go back and shoot because we almost shot the whole thing. Like we shot the whole scene, and then right after that I thought we were done, and so I was very emotional. And then right after that they were like, "Oh, Omar, you gotta come back, we gotta do it like 3 more times." And I was like, Lisa, I hugged Lisa and I was like, Lisa, I cannot do this. I'm not like, I was just so like, yeah.
It was a weird day.
Yeah,
I think it's funny in the documentary because you could see me being so like confident in the beginning of that last day. I'm like, no, it's good. I'm feeling good. It's nice. We're gonna finish it off now, you know. And then slowly, you see me like breaking down, and then like when we're shooting, also like when we're getting to the lake location, we started with like the swimming scenes, and we had these like wetsuits on. And it was just like, it was fun to shoot. It was nice, and it was cold, and you were distracted. And then we had lunch, and then I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the sunset, and I'm like, this is so weird. It's like a shitty movie. Like it's so corny. Like we're here on this beautiful location and shooting the closing scenes of this monumental thing in my life, and then like slowly bursting into tears. Yeah, it was a strong day emotionally.
It was also when you broke down, it was the one time I told the behind the scenes team to like turn off your camera, walk away, like you don't get to film this. Yeah. But the beautiful thing was, we hugged, but then we walked back to set. Yeah. And we sat down.
You
on
took
the ground.
me back.
I took you back. We sat down. We talked. We said we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be fine. And you were just there, and it was the last, like the full frame image, which is absolutely stunning. Yeah. And everyone was like crying. And I think for me, that whole scene and the sequence, it was both to see 2 amazing artists working together with a great intimacy coordinator and beautiful direction and photography, but it was also this very like sacred. For me, that scene concluded everything that Young Royals is, and what the story that we've tried to tell, in the sense that it was, okay, so we have this high treetops, and it's, you know, the sun is setting, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and it's quiet, and you can hear the bees humming, and they are walking down there in their white clothes. Yeah. It was sacral. It was like being in a church. I was like, this is... If I believe in something, this is my religion. And they take off they undress, they walk down into the water naked, and they are rebirthed. Yeah. Like even if it's the most painful scene, it's like a rebirth. Yeah. I was like, after this is all. Like this is what we have told. Yeah. And it was just amazing. Yeah. And I don't think I also had a physical reaction after. I kept it like during the shoot. I was like, great. Yeah. And then when we were saying goodbye, I just shook like, because then I said goodbye, and I also said goodbye to Wilhelm and Simon, which was very, very hard and very beautiful. But it was a lot. Like the last shot of Wilhelm by the lake when Simon kind of swims away from him. in that shot that Edvin performs very beautifully, it's a close-up of your face being Wilhelm. When I saw that frame the first time, I was like, that's when he grows up.
Yeah.
This is the grown-up Wilhelm. We have seen him being this youngster. We have seen him do all this, and now he is that. And
that's when it clicks.
Yes. And then in the car scene, when Simon steps out, being like, "What is happening?" That's the Wilhelm that he sees.
Yeah.
Then Simon sees him and go, "Oh, something has shifted."
Yeah.
And that is like, it was very beautiful to make
when
that.
he says like, I told my mother like I said all this, and he asks like, "Did you do it for me?"
Yeah.
Which is like, I think it's because if Wilhelm would have done it for Simon, then it wouldn't have worked. That's not like that's not him growing up. But when he says like, "No, I did it for me," that's like everything Simon needs to hear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. Like,
Yeah.
That is.
And then when they meet in that 360 moment, it's like, oh, it's so corny, but I love
it.
I love it.
We are cringe, but we're free.
Yes.